Good morning. Excuse me. Hurry up and meditate. Hurry up and meditate. That's how I feel today. I'm sure your quarantine experiences are all different. And so maybe you literally have nowhere to go. But we still find ways to have to hurry up and meditate, right? So, what do we do on those days when we're agitated and we sit down and we still have to get to our practice, right? So what I want you to do is we're going to start with just a big, nice exhales, right? So big inhales and then an audible open mouth. Right again. My teacher used to say, put something on it, right? That means when you're doing these exercises, you can imagine, right? You can add to them by putting your emotions on them or your imagery on them. So as we do the big exhale, you can imagine getting out that restless energy, right? I want you to come into some neck stretches by simply bringing your head over to the right, imagining length on the inhale and softness on the exhale. So we're still extending the breath out, but perhaps closed lips, or you can do open mouth if that helps. Right, coming to center, over to the other side, very slow, very intentionally slow to help calm our nervous system down. Again, back to center, and maybe a very slow rotation of the neck, right? And you know that you have restlessness when doing things slowly is just kind of excruciating. You want to get the job done, right? But we also want to just kind of downshift so that we approach our meditation, right, in a very easy way. 2 circles the other way. Right, back to center, sitting up, noticing that you have downshifted a little bit, right? You've calmed down a little bit. If you weren't agitated, maybe that's harder to notice, right? But also notice if you have become agitated because the pace is uncomfortable for you. That's okay. Just notice if the agitation comes from, notice where the agitation comes from, right? And if it's something that's coming from you and from control, then, well, how awesome is that? That's something you have control over. You can just let that go, right? So as we breathe, again, we're going to put something on it. We're going to imagine, right, that we're going to do our counted breath, but we're going to imagine that our inhale, right, is recalling our scattered energy, right? And that our exhale is releasing our restlessness, right? So coming into our counted breath, exhale completely, and then inhale to a count of 4. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Continue on this counted cycle of breath. Right? Imagining that you are pulling in your lost energy, your scatteredness. And that as you exhale, you're releasing your restlessness, your nervousness. And enjoy that pause, where there's nothing, no movement in or out, just peace. Right, we get several rounds into it, and our brain starts to pipe in with its opinion on how well you're doing. Right, or our nervous system says, I don't like a controlled breath. I want to be free. Right, these are all great experiences because they give us an opportunity to just simply observe the experience, sit with it, and then see if we can kind of dissolve it. Right, after all, this is a practice. We're practicing. We're not perfect. We do it to increase our stamina, our capability. Right, we'll let that counted breath go on the end of the cycle. Come into a natural breath. Right, the uncontrolled breath, we simply observe. Right, perhaps we notice where it is in the nose. But we start to become aware of the results of watching the breath. Right, that natural and biological, physiological breath mind feedback loop, right? Calm breath, calm mind. Calm mind, calm breath. Maybe we start to layer in our mantra, inhaling, slowly affirming Hong, and exhale, Sa. Notice if you try to control the breath, we just remind ourselves to let it go, just breathe naturally. And we bring our gaze, our seat of awareness, to the middle of the forehead, the prefrontal lobes, right? In a relaxed, easy seat. I always like to think of it as a throne. I bring my awareness to the throne of my third eye. I sit down. I don't have to strain because I'm slowly learning to master my mind with ease. Right, adding in that finger movement, right? The right index finger slightly curling in on the inhale and softening on the exhale. And this is our classroom, right? We observe, we learn, we practice. We succeed, we fail. We notice our restlessness. We notice our preferences. And we learn and grow. Sometimes it clicks, and sometimes it doesn't. Right? We understand that it's a process. Right, a full inhale, a soft 3-part open mouth exhale. Let the awareness of the breath go, let the mantra go. Imagine that whatever you've discovered, whatever it is, perfect, imperfect, whatever it is, that it now holds your attention steady and clear. Perhaps it's a little, or maybe it's a lot, but it feels or seems a lot like peace or love or light or knowledge or joy. Not all the big kind, but the small, subtle. So small and subtle that if you weren't there to enjoy it, you might miss it. But it has your attention now. We'll come back, opening our eyes nice and slowly. Coming back into full breaths. Coming back into our body. Well, that wasn't as long today because of my restlessness. Right, one thing to remind ourselves, and I think this is a incredibly amazing tip, I guess is the right word, is that we're not in our meditation to control our mind, right? Concentration is not what you think it's going to be in meditation. You don't show up to enforce, right? Or to increase a concentration. You show up to see the truth or the light or whatever it is, the peace, right? And it holds your concentration, right? And our job is to practice the stamina to be able to hold, or not to hold, to be able to bask, right? In that feeling, right? In that awareness, in that higher consciousness. It's our job to develop the ability to show up for that in an extended way. That takes a lot of practice, right? Right, so good work today. I hope you have an awesome day. I see you tomorrow. Namaste.